Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ernie here with the fans POV, and over to my left, your right, we have this face right here. We have Miss Shut Up Kristen.
Yeah.
Yes. Or can I call you Kristen?
Oh, you can call me Kristen.
Oh, there we go. That makes things easier because I don't want to. So Shut Up Kristen all this time.
Yeah. Some people do, and it's annoying.
Is it really annoying, or is
it's not that annoying? No. It's flattering that they know at least where I am on the internet. They can find me at any time.
That's kind of the horrors of the internet at times.
Both. But I've done it to myself at this point, so I fuel their fire.
Okay, same here, same with us. Now, the name Shut Up Kristen, before you were Kristen Cakes, how did that come about, your names?
Well, Kristen Cakes, I genuinely don't know where that came from. That was my AIM username in middle school. Yeah, AIM, that's a thing. Live it, 90s kids. Yeah, so that was my AIM username when I was in like middle school. And it was one of those things that when I was in middle school, you know, I was watching YouTube videos. There was no such thing as really vloggers. Some people were making parody sort of stuff, but you know, YouTube wasn't anything like what it is now. So I just made a username, and then when I was in high school, I started making the videos, and I never changed the username. Stupid Kristen. So then from there, I just kind of decided that Shut Up Kristen was the name that I had wanted. Shut Up Kristen just comes from the fact that I'm loud, and I know it. And that's it.
That was one of the questions I had.
I'm loud, and I know it.
Was Kristen Cakes come from like your love of cupcakes or cakes in general?
To be fair, for a while, I think I've tried to trace it back because I really couldn't remember why. And I think at the time, I had just become obsessed with like baking and cupcakes. Truly, it was a thing where like if you were to go back in the archives of my Tumblr, my early Tumblr days were just cupcakes. Just cupcakes. That's it. So it probably had something to do with that.
Now I want a cupcake. Now,
I know. Me too. Oh God.
After this, I'm doing lunch. All
right. Awesome.
Sweet. Now, we were talking a little bit beforehand about your old videos. Do you remember the first video that you actually posted?
Yeah. Well, I used to, in terms of actual videos, I used to just post singing videos to my channel because that was the thing that in middle school, high school, I was very heavily involved in musical theater, and that's what truly I think it was just because a lot of my friends and whatnot were starting to post videos of themselves singing. So I know one of my earliest videos is me doing a performance in a thing that my high school did where it was essentially like an American Idol thing, but it was like Comac Idol.
Oh, was it sponsored by WBLI?
Yes, it was. Okay. It was sponsored by BLI.
Same exact thing.
Yeah, I did it all 4 years in high school and never won. But it's okay. It was fine because now I'm on YouTube. But
moderate success.
Yeah, moderate success. I can measure by something. But so I did that, and those were like the earliest videos. But the first like video that I would say is closest to what I make now was a rant about the video service Uvu. You know, like Skype. It's like Skype, but Uvu. Uvu came before Skype, and it was a whole thing where I was essentially like, it had the jump cuts. It was a little bit more not scripted, but I had like an idea for the video. It was much more closely related to what I do now, and that one was the first one. And hilariously, years later, Uvu reached out to me and asked me to make a video for them. Because it got a lot of views.
So it just basically it all comes full circle.
Yeah, really, at that point, which is bizarre.
Yeah. Now you said that you were a musical theater kid, right?
Yeah.
Now, what did you play? Were you just like a theater geek? Were you like part of the band?
No, I was a theater geek. I was a theater geek for sure. I mean, I still to this day, the acting is what I do and it's what I love. So musical theater was for a very long time. I was just a singer actor, not really a dancer, but I can pick up some moves. So that was really my whole thing. I was a theater geek. I went to theater camp. I did all of the shows I could find. So that was definitely my roots.
Is that so? You said you're still acting now.
Yeah.
What are you doing now?
I do. Right now, a lot of the stuff, which has been very cool from my YouTube channel, has been a lot of web video stuff. But I would really love to get concretely into film. I still do theater. I studied theater in college. So that's all still very relevant. But YouTube has been a huge part of that. Like I've now gotten roles from YouTube or found like people to do things with through YouTube. So it all kind of fuels itself.
It sounds like it. Like the parody that you just did. Was that? That was like a collaboration between you and Lucky Six.
Lucky Six Productions. Yeah.
How did that come about?
That came about purely through one of the members of Lucky Six. His name is Paul. Is part of Lucky. Is a person I went to high school with. He's the person I went to high school with.
Like, do you actually remember him from high school?
Yeah, I remember him. Okay. We weren't friends in high school so much. We just didn't fall in the same circles, and he's like a year older than I am, so it just wasn't one of those things. But after a while now, everyone knows that I do the YouTube thing, and so he reached out, and I mean, the rest of the Lucky Six production members I know nothing about, and they were all so helpful with doing a ton of like helpful editing things for my videos, which I'd never done before. So it was definitely a huge collaborative process.
Yeah, well, congrats on that.
Thank you.
Of your parodies, I did watch them all.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
The Backstreet Boys one with Doctor Who.
Yes.
The Nerds one. Nerds, I like that one.
The Royals one. I love that one.
Now, you said you love that one. Which of those is your favorite?
It's probably the Royals one. The Royals one was particularly fun too because up until, like I just said, up until this video, truly just this first Blank Cup parody, I am a like one-woman show. I film everything on my own. I film everything on my own. I edit everything on my own. If literally the only help I've ever really gotten with videos is if I wanted a shot that I could not film by myself, I'd be like, Jenna, and grab my sister and she'd film it for me. So the Royals parody I was particularly proud of because it was something that I came up with by just singing in my car, and it was something that then, like, when I made, I felt really passionately about, and I liked the message of it, and I liked that I actually got a lot of people messaging me from that and being like, that song really means a lot to me. Like, it really is true that none of us should be aiming to be normal, or none of us should be aiming to change the way that we are, like in the geeky things that we love, because that's such a great thing to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, we'll stick on the parodies there. Now, the thing is that with Blank Cup, it talks about your obsession with Starbucks.
Does it? Yeah. Is that a thing it does?
Yeah. Now, the thing is that there's a little story behind this. On the HBO show The Newsroom, there's...
We could go on forever about the Newsroom.
I love that.
Continue.
show. Oh, yes. But anyways, there's this one point where the main character, Will, he talks about a story that got leaked out. And he says, whatever your boyfriends, whatever your roommates, whatever your baristas, and then he's like, I still don't get the relationship between you and your barista.
You and your barista? Yep, I love that line.
I can apply that question to you. Describe like the relationship between you and a barista.
Okay, in real life, because this is very much, I mean, that is obviously never do what I do in that parody to your barista. Treat your baristas with care and respect. There's a Starbucks that happens to be like 4 minutes from my house. I'm sure everybody could say that at this point. But there's a Starbucks that's like literally right around the corner from me. And I, over the years, have just been a consistent like patron of their store, and by just being a nice person to them, I've genuinely become like really good friends with all these people, where now I hang out with them. We've actually developed like full friendships that we did not know one another at all until Starbucks. So I like really do, I don't know, there's something about my relationship with Starbucks too, where I go there and they've like, even a couple of them have even been before like, you're an honorary barista at this point. Truly, like it's I think that's my real life relationship with baristas. I do love them. If you were to just now take that love and make it insane.
It sounds like it. Did any of those baristas help you out with the Blank Cup?
Yes.
Was the guy in it your barista?
No, he was not. He was not. I got the apron from one of my barista friends. They were lucky enough to kind of ignore me in the corner of Starbucks as I filmed. They were all very helpful for sure. And I also wrote the entirety of that parody like at Starbucks. Like I would go to Starbucks I went to Starbucks like every day for a good like couple of weeks, and I wrote the parody, I storyboarded the parody, I did all that sort of stuff. So they were really like, I texted a couple of them when I was like, oh, like there's a line in my parody where it says, cause baby, I'm a black guy dressed like whipped cream. I was like, does Starbucks even actually sell black eyes? And they were like, oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I was like, they're like, that's well put. You are all right. So I'm serious about my caffeine addiction.
Yeah, I can see that. So
yeah.
So let's move on from that onto YouTube itself. What do you think makes you so popular? Because you have over 6,000 subscribers,
yeah.
And then I'm sure hundreds of thousands of views on like all your videos.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. No, you know what? I really don't know. I think what I love about my videos, because I think you should, no matter what you're creating, you should love what you're creating. And that's really what I put into all my videos, is I make videos about what I'm passionate about. And I think particularly my channel has now kind of fallen into like being a very nerdy channel, a very big channel in that regard. So I think what people like is watching other people that love what they love. Like, that's the YouTubers I watch, is YouTubers that are talking about what I love or share a passion for something that I love. And I think a lot of the things I like, a lot of other people like. So I think that's why it is. Otherwise, I don't really know. I hope they find me funny in some regard. But
we do, so.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I think that's what it is at the end of the day, is being passionate about something. You enjoy watching people enjoy themselves, I think is what it is.
Yeah. No. Because I was going to say, like, would you give that advice also to people who are starting up their channel?
Absolutely. That's the first thing I always say, is make videos about what you love. Don't go on the internet and be like, I want to be internet famous. How do I do it? Like, you have to really find what you're good at, what videos you enjoy making. Usually those two will like cohabitate. So making videos about what you love, if you think what you're making is funny, there's probably at least one other person out there that also thinks it's funny.
Yeah, so at least you have one other viewer out there.
Yeah.
Now, what's the best piece of advice that's ever been given to you? Either just like,
that's a good question.
Let's say about like YouTube and all that stuff.
I don't know. I've gotten a lot of advice. It's so weird because now I'm finally starting to get advice, because for a long time it seems like I didn't know a lot of other YouTubers, like it wasn't a thing. Now I think I would say uploading regularly is a thing.
So just be consistent.
Being consistent. Yeah, because you want to build up a trust with your viewers. You want to build up, like, it's, and I'm the same way. I watch YouTubers that I know post on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever, and I look forward to those videos. So I think it's being consistent, and also but also putting out videos when you think they're ready. Like, if you, again, this plays again, if you don't love it, then you're not going to be happy with it when it goes up. So I think really like taking that into perspective and like giving it the time it needs, but also like respecting your audience in that sort of way.
Okay. Now, with your YouTube channel, there's this thing every Monday. It's Maddening Mondays.
Yeah.
How exactly did that come about?
Oh, Maddening Mondays. So Maddening Mondays has been going on for 4 years now. That's a thing. Not consistently, but 4 years.
But at least yes, like Monday.
It's been a thing. Yeah, it's been a thing for 4 years now. So I remember I came up with it. I was a freshman in college. I came up with it sitting in my visual aspects of theater class, really paying attention, and
let's be real, that's most college kids.
That's most college kids, yeah. So it kind of just dawned on me. I was like, what's something fun that I could do? And I was like, all right, color of the day, Urban Dictionary word of the day, all these things. And what really ended up making that such a thing for me was, at the time, I got everybody on my hall that I was living on involved in these videos. And so then they kind of helped Maddening Mondays become what it is, and they would come up with ideas and would brainstorm, and it ended up being this great little variety show thing that I enjoyed making. And a lot of people seemed to enjoy, especially when they first came out, a lot of people really started to enjoy them. So yeah, Maddening Mondays has been maddening.
How do you come up with the content for it? Because I noticed, like, there are some consistent questions and all that, but sometimes they're like you jazz it up.
Yeah, I try to do it every couple of months, because to be honest, I mean, it's sometimes really difficult to keep that sort of stuff fresh. I mean, like, how many things can you wear as a hat of the day? But that one I love, actually, and a lot of people, I took it out for one episode and people actually complained. So that one's staying in. I try and mix it up every couple of months. I'll actively ask ask my viewers, do you have an idea? Like, do you have an idea of a segment that would interest you in this? And something that I've also found to be really helpful is now I have in every Maddening Mondays episode, there's a random edition of the day is what I call it to myself. But so it's more towards the end of the video where it's something completely whatever I'm feeling like making that thing of the day to be. So like bread of the day, whatever of the day, like that. So that also helps to keep it fresh. But it's just kind of reading into like what do I think will be quirky and funny and unexpected? Like what's bizarre? What's weird?
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the formula.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's now speaking of YouTube, like how do you come up with content for your channel? How did you come up with like the parodies is sort of like your thing, but how do you like when you're not doing them, you come up with like little vlogs here or there?
Yeah. They honestly, it's stuff that just pops into my head. I try and really now become very active with like, what am I thinking on a normal basis? Like, what are things that bother me? What are things that I think are funny? What are things that I think are bizarre? What are pet peeves? All those sorts of things. Just kind of like taking into account where my own brain is going, I think is what it is. And a lot of times, I mean, sometimes you hit slums, you hit writer's block, you hit all those sorts of things. But I think going with a funny idea, like going with whatever weird idea goes in your mind, instead of just letting it pass, but grabbing onto it and being like, no, there could be something here, is a big part of my process.
Is it like something like, do you come up with something like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and you film it right away, or do you just like write it down?
Bizarrely, I do that, and now I've become really active with writing those ideas down. Like the notes section of my phone is enormous with just like weird thoughts that I've had that could one day turn into videos. I've also found bizarrely that I come up with a lot of video ideas on the Long Island Railroad. Tons of video ideas, whether it's from people around me that are doing bizarre things, which is always, and or
it depends on the train that you take.
It depends on the train.
Back, those are always fun stories.
It's always the time. It's always the time. No, but there are certain places that I find more stimulating, and there are certain, like everybody has, I think, a place where they feel most creatively stimulated. But yeah, it's just ideas. That's it. They just pop. Yeah. Weird thoughts.
Now, is there a time where it's like, when you're filming these videos, your family, like, is your family present for them?
Oh, so it's bizarre because I try and film them when they're not in the house, because I mean, some of them don't go as obviously. There are outtakes in these videos that people don't see, and I find I make more outtakes when I know they're in the house and they can hear me making outtakes. But yeah, they're all over. I usually only take around like 15 minutes to film a video. Maddening Mondays are much longer because there have to be much more like cut segments. But normally like vlog style videos don't take that long, so they're usually somewhere around the house, and I'm just like, be quiet. Stop talking to the dog. Stop doing that. But yeah, otherwise it's a mix. Yeah.
Do they like? Does your family sort of roll your eyes at you? They're like, oh, there she is again with her camera.
No, they do sometimes. They definitely do sometimes, because sometimes you can actively. I remember my sister's favorite comment that's ever been on one of my videos. It was on a Maddening Mondays video, and it was somebody that's been watching me for a long time, and they wrote, all of your family members seemed 300% done with you in this video. And it was because it was a Maddening Mondays where I like quickly was like shooting around, and I was like, Max the dog of the day, and at the very end of the shot you can hear my sister being like, we're watching a movie, a man is dead, and like they're all done with me. But overall they're otherwise very supportive. Like the Blank Cup parody, a lot of not all of, because some of that was filmed in a mansion. I don't live in a mansion. But some of those shots were filmed in my house, like a really good amount of them, and they like left for the day. They were totally understanding. They were like, we'll go see a movie, grab dinner, you do your thing. And like, so they're very supportive of it. It's helpful now, because now that I've gotten opportunities out of it too, they can see much more of the benefit of it, and they can see how it's actively evolving into a really helpful thing. So they're overall very supportive of it.
Okay, so they kind of were there in the beginning, and they'd be like, they look like they were done with it, as you said, the comments said. Yeah. But now it's like, okay, here's the result.
Sometimes they're annoyed by it, and sometimes they're like, no, but this is really funny. Like they loved the Blank Cup parody, and they love a lot of my videos. It's just every once in a while they're like, ugh, there she is again, maddening people's Mondays.
Do they watch your videos?
Yeah, my sister now watches them more actually because she's off at college now, so I think that's how she like keeps in touch with what I'm doing on a normal weird basis. But my dad definitely watches most of my videos, and my mom does too. So they watch most of them, but some of them they don't watch because they can hear me filming, so they don't need to watch.
Oh yeah, so they already know what's coming.
It's because they already know what's coming. Like it was funny with the Blank Cup parody because they had no idea what was coming because they weren't there for any of the filming. Yeah. So that was very cool to see their reactions to that. Yeah.
Do you show them the videos before you actually post them? Do you get like a second opinion?
Not a lot actually, not really. The Blank Cup parody I did show them. I showed my mom. My dad, he didn't get to see it before it got posted, but my mom did, and she was like, "Wow, this is good." And I was like, "Yeah, and it's about to be color corrected and all this weird stuff that's never happened."
Yeah, that I totally get.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
And just first thing that pops up. All right. Favorite TV show?
The West Wing.
Movie?
500 Days of Summer.
Oh. I like that one, yeah.
Yeah,
that is a good one.
Which is funny because I'm not a chick flick person, though I don't think it's really a chick flick. It's out of the genre of what I would normally love. Yeah. Oh, this is taking Harry Potter out of it also, just out of it.
Yeah.
I always take Harry Potter out of it because that's the favorite of all time of anything.
Oh, so you did that.
That covers everything.
Other than, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so everything that I'm about to say is other than Harry Potter.
Yeah. But musician?
Florence and the Machine.
Good choice, I like them.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Doctor Who? Because I know you're a big
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith?
Matt Smith. Okay. He was my first Doctor. So I started with my friend started me with Series 5. So he was my first Doctor. I love him a lot. I love David Tennant. I love all of them, but him for sure.
All right. Then let's see. You also watch Sherlock, right?
Yes.
Okay, then Cumberbatch or Smith?
Oh, Cumberbatch.
Why?
I just love him so much. I just love Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know. I just love him.
All right, from Doctor Who, favorite companion?
Donna Noble.
Yeah.
Donna Noble, for sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite video that you've done overall?
Bath Time with Kristen.
Why Bath Time with Kristen?
It was a video that I totally improv'd. My sister helped me film it, and I was crying laughing filming it during the video and during editing, which is very weird for me. Editing, I like editing videos, but it's not something that I love doing. I love filming them and coming up with the ideas. Yeah. And Bath Time with Kristen, I genuinely was like every 5 seconds being like, Jenna, please look at this video, because I'm like actual tears of laughter, and I still watch it and I still think it's hilarious. So yeah.
All right, then let's see. You were at LeakyCon recently, right?
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Which Hogwarts house would you be in?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, really?
Yeah, whip beyond measure. Yeah.
Why Ravenclaw?
Well, Pottermore sorted me, but also just whip beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. I think I'm brainy, but I also am very witty, and I'm practical, and there are a lot of, I don't know, I just feel like I really do fit the Ravenclaw profile. Like when I was sorted into Ravenclaw and Pottermore, I was not surprised by any means. I knew it was going to be either Gryffindor or Ravenclaw, and I was very happy it was Ravenclaw.
One time I was out in LA and I took a tour of the Warner Brothers studio. And
I've been there too.
Yeah. I don't know if you've been in the museum, but the first floor is like all memorabilia. Then the second floor.
Oh, I know the second floor, because Petrified Hermione is the most realistic thing that you will ever see in your life, and it's so bizarre in a beautiful way.
Yeah, like did you try on the Sorting Hat? Is that where you found out you were from?
They also said Ravenclaw. Every test that I've taken has been like Ravenclaw. So.
See, I'm like that Sorting Hat put me in Gryffindor.
In Gryffindor? What do you feel like you are?
I feel like I'm more Slytherin.
You feel like you're a Slytherin?
I feel like a Slytherin.
Okay, yes, all right, solid.
I think they'll agree with me then.
Okay. Wait, fun fact, this is like segueing a little, but fun fact, a lot of people that are sorted on Pottermore that I've known that have gotten to choose their house, because if you get too close to two houses, it lets you choose, have been between Slytherin or Hufflepuff. That's what they've let them choose between. So they're much closer than you think they are.
Sure, I have to retake the test now to see if I either one of those. All right, let's see. I also know you're a big Disney fan, right? Because I saw that you had 10 Easter eggs.
Huge.
What's your favorite Disney princess?
Favorite Disney princess? I always bounce back and forth, to be honest. I really love Jasmine a lot. She's very sassy. My overall favorite Disney character is probably Tinkerbell, though, which is what's interesting. Again, sassy. But if we're talking strictly princess, it'd be Jasmine or Belle, for sure.
Okay, and then I was also going to ask favorite Disney character.
Disney character.
You just said Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell, yeah.
Let's see, hoodie or sweater?
Hoodie.
Hoodie, okay. Favorite warm-up song? Like when you say, like usually like when people sing, they usually have to warm up. What do you warm up with?
Weirdly enough, I warm up with the song "Be Okay" by Ingrid Michaelson. I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. That one. I don't know why. I find it like light enough that I can like go through like the vocal changes. Like I can go through notes much like lighter than I need to. So.
Okay, then favorite song to sing in the shower, or the bath. It depends.
Right now. It's Uptown Funk. It really is.
Yes, I agree with
right now, it really is. I love that song. I like it a lot. It's embarrassing how much I love that song. I'm like, Uptown Funk you up, like Uptown Funk you up all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
At work, we play that. Like I work for MTV, and they play that song.
I would imagine. I would imagine.
And the funny thing is that every time that song comes on, if somebody comes walking by, they stop and they watch.
Oh my God, I love it.
They'll say they hate it, but then it's like they're there listening to it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I love it. I love it.
Do you watch the show Glee because of your music?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and I watched the finale last night. But I watched it. Seasons like 1 through like 3.5, and then I stopped because I didn't love where it was going. But overall, I mean, I loved Glee in the beginning. Like loved it. So
same here. I'm a huge Glee guy, and like actually one of the first videos that we did was like a lip dub of "Don't Stop Believing."
Don't Stop Believing? Yeah,
I was gonna say, who's your favorite actor from Glee?
Well, I love Darren Criss a lot because I knew Darren Criss, like of Darren Criss before he was on Glee, and so when he was on Glee, I was so excited, so excited because I'd watched him in Star Kid, and I was like, oh my God, you're on Glee now. So I really do love him. Otherwise, though, from like kind of more the like original crew. I mean, I saw Lea Michele in Spring Awakening, so it's probably Lea Michele. I mean, just because girl can kill it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Girl can kill it. But I also love Diana Agron a lot, so because I used to identify a lot with Quinn, hilariously.
All right, and then finally, what's your favorite song from Glee? Because the series, as we're filming this, the series finale was just yesterday.
It was just yesterday, and so "Don't Stop Believing" is on my mind. But truly, the one that I sing the most wasn't even a song that the New Direction sang. It was their cover of "Rehab" by Amy Winehouse. It was it was literally the first episode of Glee, and it was their competing group.
I know
and
you're talking about
Vocal Adrenaline. Yeah, it was Vocal Adrenaline, and their cover of "Rehab" gets stuck in my head like all the time. Truly, go and rewatch it because it was so good. And hilariously, that's my favorite song from them.
What did you think of the series finale yesterday?
I loved it. I would be lying if I didn't say that I almost stopped the entire time, which is funny because I haven't watched Glee in like two or 3 years now, and I thought that they wrapped things up really well. I thought they did a great tribute to Corey Monteith. I thought they did a really great job of satisfying, especially the fans that were fans in the beginning, for sure.
So Glee talked about the future, about like what they're doing in 5 years.
Oh God.
So the question I posed to you, where do you see yourself, not in 5 years, but I assume you're under 30, right?
Oh yes. Oh okay. God, I'm 22. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So where do you see yourself at 30?
I mean, hopefully, I've always wanted to move to LA, so hopefully living there, just doing acting stuff. I mean, at this point, I kind of see myself doing YouTube for a long time, as long as I continue to stay passionate about it. But hopefully doing a lot of acting stuff and film stuff, and really starting to like make myself a life out there. Just being happy, doing whatever I'm doing. That's really it. Don't worry, be happy.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
There. Now, it's like sort of. Crap, where was I going to go from now? You said, talking about the future, can you tell us any upcoming projects that you have? Well, you're working with the Spoils right now.
I am working with the Spoils, which has been so much fun. So I'm working with them. So in the future, I'm going to be doing a lot of really cool stuff for them, where they're going to be hopefully hopefully sending me to some conventions and game expos, and which is going to be really, I'm so excited about that. I can't believe that I've landed a job in which they are willing to send me to conventions. But they're really awesome and I love them. I'm very passionate about that. I'm also in a couple of different web series that are coming out. One of them is called 3 Days of Glory, which is going to be Indiegogo next month. And I'm part of another one called King Queens, which is being made by a lot of very cool people that I've also met at cons. So I'm doing a lot of that stuff, some independent films. So a lot of good things are happening, which is really cool.
Well, good. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
We have to say, yes, we do have a presentation to make because you did win
okay.
YouTube channel of the year. So yeah, we have a little certificate for
Oh my gosh. This is a thing. Thank you so much.
You are voted as the best 2014 YouTube channel of the year. Do you have anything to say to your fans out there that did vote for you?
Thank you so much. I mean, this was just like, this was honestly like such a cool thing to happen, because the people that I were up against are great YouTubers with much larger audiences than I have. So the fact that the people that watch me are passionate enough to go out of their way and really vote for me and show that they like what I'm doing means a lot. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, one final thing.
Yes.
Actually, two final things.
Two final things.
Yes, two final things. One, a lot of our questions do come from fans. They were trying to look. I was looking through some of the comments and be like, okay, you know, this is what I could sort of ask on this. Now that we got questions from them, now it's your turn to ask them. Well, I know you ask them every Monday or so, but like you can ask them like to our audience. It's sort of like what would you like to ask? Like we're mostly convention-based.
Convention-based,
yes,
yeah.
Very convention-based. Do you have anything to ask like them?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. What? My immediate thought goes to like, what is the really cool cosplay that you're gonna do this year? What is the really cool cosplay? Because I've been like trying to concretely make a list and not just say I'm gonna do all the things. Yeah.
That's always tough. Like trying to come up with a list of cosplay and then it's like you try to complete it. It's like, oh.
No, I just like just the other day I like realized that I really want to do a League of Legends cosplay, and I was like, Kristen, you can't keep doing this. You cannot keep doing this. They're gonna get sick of you at Joann's Fabric. Like it's, yeah. So I think that's the big thing is like, what is like your big cosplay that you're gonna like premiere this year? What is it? Leave it in the comments.
Yeah. You already know it. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Your YouTube channel of the year, so you know the whole.
Oh, YouTube channel of the year. That's weird. Thanks.
And then one last thing. Can we take a selfie?
Oh my God. I mean, if you thought that wasn't happening, you were wrong.
That's but thank you very much for this interview. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
We'll definitely keep tabs on you on what's coming up.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. I love seeing you guys at cons because I've actually seen you guys at cons before.
Yeah.
I've been in like I think one of your cosplay videos, hilariously. I have. I've been in one of your cosplay videos.
Before. I don't know if you've been in like another one since then. The one at Anime Next, right?
But it should happen, yeah.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Yes.
It's happening. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. We'll see you.